This conversation went pretty stupid pretty fast. Michael, so you want to compare an absolute fantasy child story with homosexuality? You think children are stupid and do not know they can marry a beast? Homosexuality is in their face and it is not a fantasy. And that would be very confusing for a child. I know I cringed when my 9-year-old asked me what gay and lesbian meant. 2 words a 9-year-old should not even know. Honestly, this debate turned really stupid because of how he goes on. I thought we were reaching an agreement, as you will soon see, unless you're reading ahead and you've already read what I wrote and part of what he wrote. But it's really stupid. Let me just continue reading. From me. You don't think kissing a beast or a bee fantasizing about having a relationship with a human woman doesn't confuse kids? Really? Plus, kids will always be curious. Why shouldn't they learn what gay and lesbian mean? It's all over, and it's best to keep them informed than ignorant on purpose. Obviously, I'm reading some of this wrong. This is just something quick I'm doing, that's why. And then he was like, absolutely not. Children know it's a cartoon and therefore not reality. At least I know that was the first thing I taught my children as soon as you were able to understand. You are trying to justify an abnormal lifestyle choice with a cartoon. Here's the thing though. Cartoons show all forms of life. So why can't that be part of it? And then he goes on saying, I should probably do a different voice for this. I'm so sorry, guys. It's pretty late, as you can see, and I'm tired. So he goes on with, I'm going to try to do the voice. Children can and will learn what gay and lesbian mean. They do not, however, need to learn that at an early age, especially when in the single-digit ages. I know you'll say otherwise simply because you feel the need to justify your lifestyle. Not all things are appropriate for a young child's mind. Ask any health expert. It is all over because homosexualities insist upon everyone knowing they're gay. I never once in my 50+ years on this planet felt the need to run around proclaiming my heterosexuality. Why do you / they feel like this overwhelming need to involve everyone else in your sexuality? I was like, abnormal being gay / lesbian isn't abnormal. Yes, it isn't the most common thing, but it isn't abnormal either. No. Now that you explain that you agree with education of it being early, not too early as you stated, I have a better understanding and realize how it came up earlier. I am not a lesbian either. I am bisexual. But I am much more attracted to men than women. I also question, why is it bad for them to know though? I know not everything needs to be shown to kids because they aren't ready for it, but how is talking about homosexuality a bad thing? Side note, on top of that, he mentions that his 9-year-old asked. It's not like he's suddenly bringing it up and she's not curious about it. The 9-year-old asked. Back to this. Now, I do recall you saying simply too early, that I will respect, but I do find it peculiar. It could be simply me being raised with older siblings who become sexually active in high school. They were one is hetero and the other is pan, but they had homosexual friends and talked about it very openly. And learning about this pretty young, roughly in the 4th or 5th grade, which is between 9 to 10 for me, which is why I find it for you to tell your kids. I did not word that right. And by the 6th grade, this is true, my classmates were having sex. Like, not even 13 yet. And I'm already having classmates that are having sex. And I know this is not a rare case either, because even in other middle schools, both back then and now, there are kids being pregnant. And that's just crazy. So back to this. But I can see why you'd be concerned in exposing too early. This is why open discussion is needed. I simply feel like both homosexuality and heterosexuality should be talked about evenly and respected with no fear of either side. I know there are people who view heterosexuality badly and others who view all sexualities badly. I just feel like it needs to be more open for both sides to have proper discussions. And it's true. Now, apparently he didn't delete it, but this is what I wrote. I know you deleted this comment, but in my notification feeds, I still see part of it. You seriously compare telling your child about homosexuality to watching porn? That is beyond ridiculous. That is beyond a ridiculous comparison. One is simply telling a child people can be attracted to the same sex/gender, and the other is showing how people have sex. And it's not even that, in all honesty. It doesn't matter how you slice it, that's just wrong. Why even make that comparison? Then he's like, I did not delete any comments. No, that was an example of things children should not be having knowledge of, like numerous other examples I have shown. You didn't? Then why do I went through the comic section? I can't even find it. Then he asks me, this is the post you cannot see for whatever reason. I copied and pasted from my chat history. Also sorry about the huge run-on post, but for some reason when I separated my comment into paragraphs, it comes out as a huge run-on. It is too early because a child is considered a child for a reason. Their brains are not developed, they are growing. Would you let a child watch porn? Do heterosexuals have sex in front of their children? Is it normal? It's like, this is a normal human relationship. As I said before, if homosexuality were normal, we would not be here to even have this discussion. We would be extinct. I do tackle that later on. Then he goes on, this is what I mean/meant by normal. Lots of things are just not meant for children. You have no children, I'll assume, by you're not getting it by being too early. I actually mentioned that I agree with him of it being too early, showing that he's ignored what I wrote. I'll try to explain to the best of my ability. They are like knowledge sponges. From the minute they are born, they are learning at a rate that is astronomical. So anything and everything has effects on developing brain. In other words, they can be influenced. Now realize, can be is in that sentence. To behave certain ways. This is not a question of homosexuality being good or bad. It is a question of allowing a developing mind to develop before it makes choices like that. The child will let you know when it's time for discussion, and that'll be an instant they hear about it at any age. And realize beforehand, he was saying that a 9-year-old asked him about that. So that means that child is ready for the discussion. Okay? I do not like what I am starting to see as a homosexuality agenda. To be perfectly honest, homosexuality may be normal to you, but it is certainly not normal as a species, which is a lie. I see no need to promote homosexuality or heterosexuality. Just live your life privately like most do, and there are no issues. Let children be children. It is a precious time that is very short and fast fleeting. Babies do not need to know about homosexuality the same way. They do not need to know about parents with financial troubles, how much bills there are, how much money you make. The list goes on and on. I could fill 50 posts worth of things children should not have knowledge of in their single digits. Why no one have a private life anymore? Private life used to mean exactly what it says. Things between you and your soul. A soul. Okay? Why has that changed? Okay, thanks. Like I said before, and then this is me. Like I said before, when I only saw the nitbits telling someone about it is different from showing porn. It is to make that connection is ridiculous on some. Homosexuality has been a large part of the animal kingdom in general, And you're gonna see, and because he mentioned extinction, and I'm just like, humans are no exception. In Japan, before the Westerns came, Japan folks were open about gayness. Greek, from what I remember, I could easily be wrong about this though, also had gay people and such. Being gay doesn't determine whether the population will go extinct or not, which he keeps bringing up later on. Male lions have sex way more with other male lions, and the reason going extinct is due to humans hunting them. This is all over the animal kingdom. Why is it viewed as something that will kill off a species when it has never done so? Mind you, we're talking about extinction. So I'm showing that even with humans and other animals, it has never brought them to extinction. It has been a part of our history for an unknown amount of time already, and yet it's something unnatural when so many other places in ancient times just embraced it or didn't care about it. It makes no sense. It doesn't kill off species at all. What kills species is lack of diversity in genes, lack of adaptation, human interference, and sicknesses. Homosexuality never killed off a species, and definitely was never being close to killing off ours. Which is true. Like, not once in our history has homosexuality ever been close to killing off our species. And before someone complains that, oh, it could be doing that now, and it's just like, how many babies are still being born? How many, like, how big is our population? All that other stuff. And it's just like, it's not killing off our species. Like, some of the things are badly affecting our species, but that isn't solely on homosexuality. Like, the other stuff is what's killing off our species. Not people simply being attracted to the people of the same sex. They can be influenced to behave a certain way, which is why parents need to have open discussions of what is and isn't okay, and explain why, so their child could understand. Simply telling them is, again, different from showing porn. You tell a child, men can love men can love women can love women, showing them that it isn't a bad thing and how to deal with it when they see it. So it's like, it wouldn't be bad. It would let them accept that not everyone has the same preference, leaving them much more open to others' feelings. Porn teaches absolutely nothing. It is literally there just for sexual pleasure. It isn't educational in the slightest. Men can't hold hands in public without being attacked. Depends where you're at. Because where I'm at, it's pretty chill. But there are other places where people literally get killed for that. And that isn't okay. Simply telling kids it is okay and they shouldn't hate it / be afraid of it when they see it is what helps places become safer. Teach the next generation not to be so stupid. Now, saying your stance on the promotion of any sexuality is intriguing, and read everything else, it does make a lot more clear. It is a fast and fleeting time. A child shouldn't have to worry about it. Childhood doesn't even last a full 13 years. So, little time they have should be worth it. The only thing beyond that is what is truly private has changed, and people can't really do so because cameras, audios, and so on literally preventing it, whether or not it is the person themselves doing it. More and more companies are finding access to people's accounts, histories, with or without their permission / acknowledgements. Then those companies get attacked and things come out. Beyond companies, people have been more and more desperate to show they are happy and what they did because society pushed them to that norm. It has helped, but it also has harmed. A double-edged sword no one was really ready for. Then this is how he responds. Well, you're trying to justify gay lifestyles by comparing humans to animals, which is ludicrous. Mind you, he was saying you would go extinct from homosexuality. So me showing examples, not only humans, but also in the animal kingdom, should have got that point across. He was the one who brought up extinction, not me.